What if death is not the end but exposure? What if the moment the heart stops, everything hidden inside you rises to the surface? Not your career, not your achievements, not your reputation, your guilt, your shame, your unresolved memories. In 1990, a film asked one of the most dangerous questions modern science could ask. What happens if human beings cross the boundary of death on purpose? The film was called Flatliners, but beneath the medical thriller, it was really about judgment. Welcome to Mysterious Encounters. Today, we decode Flatliners 1990, a film about near death, forbidden transcendence, and the terrifying possibility that consciousness survives long enough to remember everything you tried to bury. The premise seems scientific. A group of medical students deliberately stop their hearts to experience death temporarily before being revived. But symbolically, this is not medicine, it is initiation. Ancient civilizations cross spiritual thresholds through fasting, rituals, caves, psychedelics, isolation, symbolic death ceremonies. Flatliners modernizes the ritual. Technology replaces mysticism, defibrillators replace priests. The operating room becomes a temple, and the students become modern seekers attempting to force open a forbidden door. This is humanity's oldest temptation, to know what exists beyond death, without paying the full price of dying. At first, the experiment feels exhilarating. The characters return from death euphoric. Enhanced, awakened, their senses sharpen, their intelligence expands, their confidence grows. This mirrors ancient stories of forbidden knowledge, but then the visions begin. Not random hallucinations, personal hauntings. Each character becomes stalked by buried guilt, childhood cruelty, humiliation, betrayal, violence, shame. This is the film's hidden revelation. Death does not punish them. Death reveals them. The afterlife in Flatliners behaves less like a location and more like psychological exposure. The subconscious becomes externalized. What they buried internally returns physically. One terrifying idea runs beneath the entire film. Consciousness records everything, not just major events, everything. Every cruelty, every humiliation, every betrayal. The characters believed death would provide answers about eternity. Instead, it forces confrontation with memory. This connects deeply to near-death experience reports across cultures. Many people describe life reviews, emotional reliving, heightened self-awareness, overwhelming confrontation with past actions. Flatliners transforms this idea into horror because the real terror is not death itself. The terror is being unable to escape yourself. The film also critiques scientific arrogance. The students believe technology gives them control over death, but the deeper they go, the more unstable reality becomes. This mirrors ancient myths. Humans reaching beyond natural limits, Prometheus stealing fire, Icarus flying too close to the sun, forbidden knowledge opening catastrophic doors. Flatliner suggests science can restart the body, but may not fully understand consciousness. The machines revive their hearts, but something else returns with them. Not demons, not ghosts, consequences. The hauntings intensify because avoidance strengthens them. This is psychologically important. The characters try denial, rationalization, escape, suppression, but the manifestations grow stronger. Why? Because guilt unresolved becomes psychologically autonomous. Flatliners visualizes trauma as unfinished energy demanding recognition. The only relief comes through confrontation, confession, accountability, compassion. The film quietly suggests something ancient. Healing requires acknowledgement, not suppression. This transforms the story from horror into spiritual allegory. The dead are not attacking the characters. Their own unresolved conscience is. The title itself matters. Flatlining represents more than cardiac death. It symbolizes ego death, psychological exposure, crossing thresholds, temporary separation from ordinary identity. The characters enter death seeking power, but death strips power away beyond the heartbeat. Status disappears, intelligence disappears, control disappears, only truth remains. And perhaps this is the film's deepest fear. What if consciousness continues long enough after death to confront itself completely? Flatliners is not ultimately asking what happens after death. It asks something far more uncomfortable. What survives death? Memory? Guilt? Consciousness? Identity? The film suggests the soul may function like a recorder, preserving every action long after the body stops moving. And perhaps the afterlife is not fire or paradise, but confrontation, a state where distraction disappears, and nothing remains except yourself fully exposed. This is why the film still feels unsettling decades later, because beneath the medical equipment, the electricity, the science, Flatliners resurrected one of humanity's oldest fears, that death is not annihilation, only revelation. And somewhere between the final heartbeat and the silence afterward, something may still be watching, something that remembers everything,